What's up, Thunder Nation? Welcome to the Sooners Surge podcast that tells it like it is. It's not hard to tell it like it is tonight. Thunder played. I don't know if they showed up at all.
Still going on.
Horrible from the start. And you flush this one and you get game 4 and you're exactly where you need to be. You lose game 4, it becomes dicey at times, Jay.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know what to say after this.
There's not much you can say on this game.
Absolutely atrocious performance by the Thunder tonight. Embarrassing. We'll see on game 4. It could be concerning if they come out and get beat game 4. It'd be very concerning. Especially, it's not I was actually I expected Minnesota to come out and play well tonight. I did, and they did. I didn't expect the Thunder to look that shell-shocked, though. And they looked shell-shocked tonight. They absolutely did.
Hey, Bevo Bodyguard, welcome tonight. I know you're in here after a Texas win yesterday. You didn't show up when Texas lost. That's kind of who you are. And you also said Denver in 6 and 7. So, hey, I'll take your take with a grain of salt. OKC's not losing 3 straight. Please stop. Yeah, Bevo's a hater. It's hilarious. He's only here when they lose. It's so funny, dude. Like, look, OKC played horribly tonight. It was pathetic.
It was bad.
It's 2-1. You got to win the next one.
Hey, Platone, I said this earlier tonight in the text thread, but to me, this might be the worst finals performance, like as far as a Western or Eastern Conference.
Well, Jay, did you hear the announcer say that a lot of the NBA champions have a game or two like this, where you just get destroyed? I heard the commentator say it. Yeah, well, the good news is they'll be well rested. I had Thunder in 5 because I thought they would win 1 in Minnesota. You don't win 1 in Minnesota, then you can start saying it's concerning. You win the next game, there's no concern at all. It's 3-1. You're going back home to close it out. You lose the next one, it's concerning. But right now, I don't think it's time to concern right now. They didn't look very locked in, Jay. El Sombre Regio 7, thanks for the super, says, bad game or not, I can't get down with the NBA allowing the media pundits refer to Shai as a free throw merchant. The NFL, and they would never. Yeah, he didn't shoot many free throws tonight, did he? Really not. Hey, my only gripe about officiating in the NBA is either it's a foul or it's not, and it's a foul every time. And I'll give you an example. Rudy Gobert illegal screens every time. They choose to call it every now and then. A lot of teams do that. Yeah, the Celtics lost by almost 40.
I had forgotten about that game last year, and
almost 40 Celtics NBA champs.
Oh, and I'm not going to sit here and say the Thunder's going to lose this series. Not by any means. I just think I expected Minnesota to play well. But I did not expect the Thunder to look like they haven't been in a game like, and this just, they couldn't, the start of the game, and they got out 4-0 or 6-0, and then it was like, wow, just Katie barred the door, and they just unloaded on them.
Julius Randle hit about 3 tough shots right off the start.
They made their shots tonight, Jeremy. Minnesota shot really well tonight.
One thing that OKC's got to do, and let's just talk analytics here and strategy. OKC cannot help, and it's been mainly SGA. You cannot leave the corner man to help if they've already got a guy in there to help.
But here's the thing. The Thunder, that is part of what they do. They allow corner threes. If you hit them,
and I'm saying they can't allow that 3 ball in the corner. You can't leave your man to help.
PJ Washington lived on it last year, and they beat him.
You can't leave your man to help there, Jay. You can't.
Yeah, I think they need to look at some things. You know what? I thought a couple of things for Minnesota tonight. Minnesota, they defended Shai a little different. Did you notice it? And the announcers talked about this. They didn't get right up on him way behind above the 3-point line. They let him. If Shai wanted to shoot the 3, they backed off a little bit and just didn't let him. They said, "Come to me, come to me." And I think that's the interesting point where they keep playing him like that. And the other thing is,
I didn't think Dort looked scared of Van at all. I think there was more frustration than anything. It was just, I don't know, Jay just cut out. It was just frustration. I thought, to me, they just seemed flustered. And then once they got down, they didn't really, they're like, okay, this one's done. They brought A.J. Mitchell in the second quarter, which was asinine, I thought. Just ridiculous.
Well, they had given up. If you're bringing A.J. Mitchell in, you pretty much.
Hey, and I'll say this, and I'll say it every game the rest of the year. You can't play Joe. You cannot play Isaiah Joe. He gives you nothing on the defensive end, and he's not making anything offensively. You cannot play Isaiah Joe.
Hey, yeah, and Sooner fan, let me.
Caruso barely played tonight.
Yeah, he didn't play. Let me say something, Sooner fan. And don't interrupt, Jeremy. Don't interrupt me here. This goes for the one that say Pino said the refs were horrible. You're down 40-50. Doesn't matter. Yeah. Just like the people that whine about SGA getting too many free throws, you lost by 20 or 30 in OKC. It didn't matter, Minnesota. Who cares about the free throws? Like, who cares about the refs? You're losing by 40 points. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, if Isaiah Joe went elsewhere, so be it.
Hey, Casey's right. We're going to put the phone link in a minute, but Casey's absolutely right. This team is not shooting the ball well.
What's their three-pointers tonight, though?
Not good. They were 2 of 13 at one point, Germ, after the first quarter. 13 threes in first quarter. Too many. Too many.
There are a couple bad looks.
Too many, dude. There's too many threes for the Thunder.
You know, you're going to say two things every game. You're going to say too many threes and they're too young. You sent me a group text tonight and said, team's too young.
I did. Well,
and the other thing you said, Jay, so get ready to defend yourself. You said, same old Thunder team on the road.
They haven't played good on the road in the postseason yet, Jerm.
They won both in Memphis and they won one in Denver. What are you talking about?
Do you think they played? They were down 30 points in Memphis, Jerm. They were down 30 to Memphis. They were down 29 points in Memphis and they won the game.
I thought they swept Memphis.
They were down 29 points.
I thought they swept Memphis.
They did.
So they didn't lose on the road to Memphis, did they?
No, but they didn't play good, Germ.
They won one at Denver when they had to have it.
They did win one at Denver, but I think a lot of people in that game thought the Thunder still didn't play good. They haven't played good.
The same old Thunder is a horrible take.
No, Germ, I'm just saying if you look at the road games, they haven't played good on the road this year in the playoffs, have they?
No, they haven't played great on the road.
That's all my points. So why'd you get all defensive?
Because you said same old Thunder.
It is in the road. In the road games, Germ. Road games. Jeez, they haven't.
Bad take, man. Bad take.
You just agreed with it.
Did you open the phone lines?
I have not, but I'll open them. I'm just saying, I'm not saying they didn't win the games. I'm just saying they have not played very good on the road. They haven't, Germ. That's a fact.
Hey, Greg, if OKC goes up 3-1, was this 52-point loss concerning?
No, it's not.
The only reason this would be concerning is if they lose game 4.
Correct. If they lose game 4. Yeah, I would agree.
Otherwise, this game, in the end, doesn't matter if you lost by 1 or 51. Doesn't matter. A loss is a loss. You got to win the next one. Put this behind you. We'll see what the team's made of. Put it behind you and come out here, everything. Yeah, we can do what ifs. What if they would have lost to Memphis? What if they would have lost to Denver? Guess what? They didn't. What if they would have traded J-Dub? There's a lot we could say.
Hey, we got Platone on the line. Let's get to Platone.
Hey, guys. Obviously very, very frustrating. You know, I think let's take a little like a young basketball team, like say a bunch of 12-year-olds. They're shooting threes. They're not hitting any of them. You tell them to switch it up. Is the coach not telling them to stop shooting threes? I don't understand what the coach is telling them. He should be in their ear saying, no more threes. Like, I don't get it. Unless there's a guy like 10 feet away from you, don't take a three. Like, it just feels like they just do whatever they want without like changing anything. I don't know.
I feel like the start of the game tonight, they weren't trying to drive. It was more like, we'll just shoot a three. We'll settle for it. And this team
also,
is not. not great at shooting threes right now. They're just not.
Yeah, I almost feel like Dagnall needs to tell the guys as a team no more than 23s for the whole game. And that seems dumb that you have to tell them that because they should be able to, when they're not shooting great, you either find the hot person who is or you just drive and kick. But obviously our team doesn't seem to understand that. So, our coaches got to emphasize that more. Also, I was looking at some prior regular season games this year. Isaiah Joe used to be good. What happened to him? I was watching him against the New York Knicks. He had like 6 threes in one game against the Knicks. He's been a total no-show for a long time.
I don't think he's playing enough to get in a rhythm. So
it's not that, Jay. He's just struggling. But hey, tonight was their best 3-point percentage shooting in a while. It was 29%. I mean, they didn't lose this game because of too many threes. They lost this game,
but it's concerning though. It's concerning.
Yeah, I mean,
they haven't shot the ball well. And Platone's right. They haven't shot the ball well pretty much the whole playoffs. That's what's crazy is they've won these games and they haven't even shot the ball well. But at some point, you got to start making some shots. Let's get to Colin. Thanks for the call.
Hey, Bevo, I'm just curious. You say I would probably stop being a Thunder fan after this play. Why are you still a Texas fan? They got smoked 63-14 by OU that one year. How did you keep liking them?
Or the Kansas loss was pretty bad.
Kansas loss. How do you like Texas? Go ahead, Colin.
What's up, Colin?
What's up? How you guys doing?
Been better. I mean, I was expecting a good game tonight. It was boring. It was blowout.
I was definitely expecting a closer game. Definitely not a blowout. But coming into the game, I knew Minnesota was going to have their game eventually, and I knew this wasn't going to be an easy 4-0 sweep like maybe the media said after 2 games. But again, you just kind of have to sometimes just tip your cap where like Minnesota was just a better team tonight, and I don't think we'll shoot this bad and play this bad Monday, but you could tell like early on we just didn't look comfortable in their environment, and I think because ideally we just have to win one on the road, and it's 3 games to 1.
Let me ask you this, Colin and Jeremy in the chat. One big concerning thing was Thunder didn't look like they had any energy at all. So that's concerning. But what would you put it towards as far as them coming out the way they did tonight?
I think maybe kind of being overconfident after the first 2 games, being kind of double-digit blowouts, thinking like, oh, we'll be able to just play how we do. But I think also a big factor was, even though I know it's more media focused and whatnot, but when we don't kind of get the fouls that we normally get, we look like a worse, like softer team when the fouls aren't like, I'm not saying OKC needs the refs to win, but it feels like sometimes when it's a tougher whistle, we struggle more.
I mean,
expecting it to get called.
They do struggle more. They do struggle more in those things. Hey, thanks, Colin. Appreciate the call. I know we got Coconut Greg here too. Jay, I attested to OKC came out early and looked really good the first 3 minutes. They absolutely did. And then it happened. Minnesota couldn't miss anything. Edwards got easy baskets, like in transitions, 3 or 4 dunks and layups, and got going. Next thing you know, you're up 20. You're down 20, and they never recovered. But I thought that was the disappointing thing. They got down 20, and they just didn't have fight. Like hit them blindside.
It was just a bad game all around. Let's get to Greg. What's up, Greg?
A little disappointed. Well, a lot disappointed. How about that? I mean, we all knew it was going to be difficult to sweep a team like this. I mean, they got to the conference finals for a reason. But just, I mean, I can't really say anything that hadn't been said. But it's one thing, like, say this had gone down to the wire and, we'd battled to, like, and then just a tough loss. Okay. But to come out and just look so lethargic, like this looks a lot to me like a couple years ago when we beat Texas and we were just on cloud 9. Everyone was, oh man, we could win a national championship. And then we come out and we're struggling against Kansas and UCF. So I don't know. The last thing you want to give a team is confidence. And does a win like this give Minnesota the confidence to flip the script on this whole series? I guess that would be my question.
if they win Game 4, this would absolutely did. And I see Greg got says Monday decides the series. I won't go that far. I'll say this: Monday decides the series if OKC wins. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
If OKC loses Game 4, are you ready to say they're not going to win? Jay, Greg?
No, but I would be concerned.
You say that, but I would also be concerned. Like we can't just rely on our having home court advantage. I mean,
Right.
good teams win. A good team wins when things aren't perfect, and we can't. We just can't rely on just winning at home. We have to win a game on the road, and we did in the last series and all that. But this team they're playing like a young team, like they are. You would wish they would have had the motivation or the, I don't know, whatever you call it, to come out and be like, okay, this isn't finished. We still got to win one on their court. But yeah, they came out and threw in the towel early. I got to agree with kind of what both of you said. It's like, okay, we started off strong. Next thing you know, they go on their own little run, and it's like, okay, whatever. I would hope the team wouldn't do that. But hey, it's basketball. You get blown out sometimes. So hopefully we come around and can rewrite things. But I think this was a good eye opener. Maybe we said that last series. You don't think they would be needing these eye openers again and again and again? But who knows?
Mark Dagnall's going to say this is part of the process. This is what his post-game press is going to say. It's going to be how we respond. Yeah. They just got to respond. They have to respond the right way.
That's it.
Last thing here is, they were shooting so many threes, and we know that we haven't been super hot at that. It's like, why are we going against our own known recipe to win?
I don't understand it. And I know Jeremy will say, well, they're open, but so's the lane. The lane's open.
They shot threes in the first 2 games of the series and won.
But they shot 12 threes in the first quarter tonight.
We're not the 2016 Golden State Warriors. We're not going to win shooting that way.
Not going to happen.
No. Yeah.
You got to drive the ball. I thought Shai was a little bit hesitant tonight in the first of the game, too. Didn't y'all?
Do you think maybe
I agree he didn't come out and just attack.
Oh, go ahead. I think I might have lost you. Are you there?
I just said I agree. SGA didn't seem like he was in attack mode from the start.
Do you think that he's maybe heard a little bit too much of the noise, on social media and all that he's foul baiting too much, and that he was maybe trying to play against that? Is that possible?
I think he probably, the crowd, when you're on the road, they were booing him every time he got the ball. Maybe he was just like, I'm not going to go out there and try to enforce it right away. I'm going to let the game come to me. And by the time he looks up, they're down 30 points. And then it's almost like, okay, now what? I think if the game would have been close, he would have probably played a lot better. I honestly think the
good news is he's well rested. You got to play your guys as much as you need to because you've got to win Game 4.
Yeah, got to.
Caruso's really refreshed. He fouled out last game and barely played 3 minutes this game.
No kidding.
Thanks,
hey,
Greg.
I still have faith. I mean, it's one loss. I mean, come on. It was going to be tough to sweep this team, but it's still in our control, and it's still our series to win. So just got to learn from this and come out with some more intensity next game. We can do it.
That sounds exactly like a post-game speech. Hey, we knew it was going to be a tough series. Not going to sweep them. Got to come out next time with more intensity and get the dub. Fight back. I love that. All right, that's great.
Thanks, Greg.
Oh, see you.
Hey, by the way, guys, Thunder just now, they just cut it to 42.
I saw Danny's comment. Yeah, you can't play Isaiah Joe right now. Can't play him.
And there was something I was going to get to. I don't remember what it was. It was one of the comments.
I'm still not in favor for us trading J-Dub. I thought SJ was bad tonight too. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't good all around.
Hey, Casey Carter. I'm going to say this because you responded to Greg earlier and said he was wrong when he said you got to rely. You can't rely on home field. Here's what I would say to this, Casey Carter. Yes, if OKC protects home court advantage, they're going to the NBA championship. However, that puts a lot of pressure to win at home when you don't get one on the road. That's all I'm saying. I mean, people thought this series is over after 2 games. If this thing goes game 7, you got all the pressure. You just never know. Like, I would much rather win a road game and be up 3-1. So.
Yeah, but I see what Casey Carter's saying. I mean, I see what he's saying. Yeah, you win the home games, you're there. But I think it's also going to be how does game 4 go as far as got to be a lot better game. I mean, you can't go out there and get blown out again. So if we survive, we need a shooter. Here's the thing, though, Gooseman, Chris. The Thunder have had shooters for the last 2 years in the regular season. They can't do it in the playoffs. They don't shoot well in the playoffs. Well, why is that?
Hey, do they have an elite shooter, though?
No.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
So I don't understand your take here. Isaiah Joe's been their best shooter all year, but he's not a playoff guy.
I know that. I'm just saying, like, you need a guy that can prove it in the playoffs that he can make threes in the playoffs. I don't know who that is.
Caruso's been really good at threes, actually.
He's been the best shooter on the team 3-point wise in the postseason. Yeah.
No, I agree.
Yeah, and I think that's part of it.
Greg got you.
I agree you can't play him. I agree.
You can't play him because he doesn't play defense.
I agree you can't play him, but I think that's why he does well in the regular season because they're playing not very
Jay,
good.
A good shooter can wake up in the morning and make a basket from 3-ball. So I guess Joe's just not that because he's got to be warmed up.
He is a good shooter, Jeremy. He is a good shooter.
He hasn't been at all. He's been one of the worst ones.
What has he played in the postseason? Like a total of 10 minutes?
Jay, he's played more than Wiggins most games.
Come on now. He's played like 10 minutes in the season.
He played 10 minutes in one game, Jay.
When was that? Tonight?
No, game 1. He played more than Wiggins.
He did pretty well game 1.
Well, you said he hadn't played 10 minutes total.
He didn't play. Did he play at all in the Denver series?
Yeah, he's played quite a bit, Hunter. He has.
Oh, look it up,
Hunter. First guy off the bench after Wallace.
Hunter, look it up. How many did he play? Hey, Eric, real quick, though. But real quick, I said this earlier. Game doesn't matter. I mean, he started off being not as aggressive. I think that was part of his problem. And then by the time he looked up, they're down 40 points, and it really didn't matter because, like, I think he would have played better down the stretch. I mean, obviously, he'd have been in the game, but he was way too passive at the first. But then it got out of hand so quickly, but yeah, he didn't play well. 138 total minutes. Wait, who's got 138 total minutes?
Probably Joe, Jay.
There is no way Joe's played 140 minutes in the playoffs.
Well, they've played 11, 12, 14 games. 14 games, Jay.
Take away the Memphis mop-up games. I'm not talking about that.
Nope, that's about 10 minutes a game he averages. Take
away the Memphis mop-up games.
Wiggins 178. So Wiggins has more, but man. Hey, Bagman.
It is.
You can say what you want.
It's a bad game.
They actually are a historic defense. They weren't tonight. And I know someone earlier said it. The Celtics lost by 38 in the NBA Finals last year. So they got to win the next one, Jay. You just got to win the next one.
Hey, I'll give it to KC. KC's on here tonight. Even though they got blown out, he's here.
I give KC props for being on when they lost, Jay.
Well, yeah, Thunder fan.
More than I can say for a lot of people when their team doesn't. So
it's just a bad game tonight. It's a horrible performance. I mean, it was just bad. Ant-Man, hey,
he had 32 in game 2, but it was just different 32. It was harder 32.
Ant-Man played really well. He was very aggressive early. And he was really good defensively. He was going for steals. Is by far his best game in the series. Let's see if he can do it back to back. That's what you got to see. And you got to see if he can do it when the game's on the line down the stretch here, when you get in the postseason and game 5, 6, and 7. Whatever.
How big you lose doesn't matter. It's how many games you lose.
Yeah, you're right about that. And Hunter brought up a good point. The Boston Celtics in the finals last year lost by 38 points. So, I mean, there is that. But Thunder got to play better all around. That was just a bad game. Bad game. Let's get to Austin. Austin's on the line. What's up, Austin?
Hello. Man, what a rough game that was.
Bad. Horrible watch.
I was kind of nervous about going into this game was that I felt like the Timberwolves were going to come out guns blazing, down 0-2 at home, but Well, I thought as long as we did not get completely ran off the court, but no, well, that's kind of what happened. We were down 20 before
Yeah,
you could
that's why
even.
they got blindsided. OKC had a good start. It was like 6 straight points,
Right. Yeah.
and then blindsided. You look, they're down 20 because of bad turnovers.
Right.
Ant-Man gets 3 or 4 easy slams, layups, and then he
Mhm.
takes off. Like,
Right. Yeah. And then it felt like every time we made a couple shots, the Timberwolves would come down and make a couple shots. So we could never kind of get on like a nice 8-0, 10-0 run.
yeah, they definitely answered every
Yeah,
time OKC did something.
And turnovers
Mhm.
were they had 9 turnovers, I think, in the first quarter. It was bad.
Right.
Bad. So
But I think this is the type of game where we just kind of have to bury it and move on. Make sure that in game 4 you come out with a little more intensity and a little more focus.
yep, I agree. Intensity was not there at the beginning of the game. It just wasn't.
Well, because
Minnesota had that energy, like they wanted it more tonight.
right, yeah. Well, and their season was basically on the line.
Yeah, you don't come back 3-0. Nobody does. So they had to.
And it just felt like when the Timberwolves were up by 20, it felt like that was the game almost.
Yeah, that was a game, and Thunder weren't coming back from that. You could just feeling the way Minnesota was shooting. If the Thunder even got, I mean, this is kind of funny. The Thunder got it down, start the second half. What they scored 10 or 12 straight, got it down to 22. And
Right.
they woke up and they're down 35 again. It was just
Right.
bad.
Yeah, they answered everything, Jay.
Hey, thanks for the call, Austin.
Yep.
They
Appreciate
answered
it.
everything. Now, OKC is the better team. I don't think anyone would deny that. I see Greg God says Minnesota's the bigger, more athletic, and more physical. They're definitely longer, bigger. Yeah. I mean, OKC's the better team, but Minnesota's definitely athletic. That's kind of their strength.
Minnesota, part of the reason they looked the way they did is they shot the ball really well. And you can't give they are a streaky shooting team, Minnesota. But you can't give them wide open threes. You can't do it. You can't do it.
Bevo, you also said Denver was the better team and Denver would win. So please, dude, like, okay, you're the only one right now probably saying Minnesota is the better team. No one would agree with you. Now, tonight, they were the much better team. They're not the overall better team. That's a bad take.
Yeah, I don't know, Greg. Maybe this is
they turned their head after they got up 6-0 and they were down 20. And it was over.
It could be a youth thing, I think. I know you hate that word, but it could be. I think it's probably going to go 6. I agree with Austin. I think this series is going to go 6.
So, Jay, is it going to go 6 if OKC wins game 4?
If OKC wins game 4? No, but I wouldn't put it out of realm. I'm just going to say I don't care which games they win. I'm just saying I think it's going to go 6 games.
I still got OKC in 5, but I think originally I said OKC in 6, but I'm going to say 5. Yeah, they did look a little lazy. They looked a little lazy tonight.
Yeah, it's bad performance. The best thing you can do probably is just forget about this game. That's it. Just forget about it.
Yeah, it won't be hard to forget, Jay.
No. I tell you, though, this is thinking ahead a little bit. You got to figure something out on the three-point defense because the first 2 games, Minnesota shot a bunch, but they missed. But if you do get by Minnesota, I mean, Indiana's been hitting threes like crazy. And they got to figure something out on the corner 3. I don't know why they
actually didn't hit threes. The first 2 games, they didn't hit threes, Jay.
Who, Minnesota? Right.
They had better looks and they didn't hit them.
That's what I'm saying, but they had good looks still. I think you got to figure something out on three-point defense.
What about OKC when they have good looks? Does Minnesota got to figure something out?
Well, Minnesota shouldn't have shot 51 threes in the first game, Jared. I'll say this. I think if Minnesota wins game 2, I think we might be going 7 games.
Maybe.
If it's 2-2, I think it's probably
if it's 2-2, it very well could go 7, Jay. Absolutely could.
Wait, who said 6? You said 6. Now it's 5, and y'all said you don't change your pick. You stick with
flush it and move on to game 4. I agree with that, Austin. Absolutely, Austin.
I never said 5. Did I? Yeah, we don't tend to shoot well. Right now, we're not shooting well at home or on the road.
Yeah.
I think Germs had 5 all along, Eric. But I doubt the Minnesota will shoot 50% from. They probably won't, but still.
Yeah, I originally picked 6, Jay, by the way.
Oh, did you? Okay.
I picked Thunder in 6, but I mean, I think if they win game 4, it'll be 5. But if they don't, very well could be 6. We'll see.
Yeah, Lakers in 5. Nuggets in 5.
Nuggets in 5, 6, 7, 3.
Let's hope the Thunder can come back Monday and have a better performance because this is bad tonight.
That was bad, yeah.
Good thing. The next one is just another game. Like you can forget about this one, and that's what you got.
There was a huge run, Grey God. It was a huge run by Minnesota.
Doesn't carry.
Huge run by Minnesota. I'm still waiting on them to strike J-Dub.
Let's see here. There was a comment I was going to get to if I can find it. Got sidetracked.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree with
game 4.
The Thunder. When I say youth, I mean like as far as I don't mean young as far as just their age. I mean youth as far as postseason experience. Because if you've been in this situation, then you kind of know. Okay, let's just go put our foot on their neck and end this. Thunder haven't been in
that doesn't happen much in a Western or Eastern Conference Finals. There's back and forth.
It doesn't happen.
NBA basketball, teams don't just sweep teams all the time.
I agree with you, but you don't lose by 40.
You got the Knicks losing 2 at home.
Jeremy, I agree.
You had the Celtics losing to the Knicks. Like
I agree. I have one concern for the Thunder. One only. It's sometimes they go down and get down by quite a bit of points. I mean, Memphis had them up by 30.
That's the only one.
Jeremy, they were down in the Nuggets series a couple times, 15 or so.
Have you watched basketball?
Jeremy, I'm okay.
You get down double digits in the NBA.
It does happen in NBA law. I'm just saying.
Unbelievable, Jay. The Knicks blew a 9-point lead in a minute.
Well, and the Knicks have blown a couple leads. You're right about that. Yeah. You're right about that.
Jay. You act like no one gets beaten by double digits.
I just said that's a concern of mine, Jerm.
That's not the concern for me. The concern for me is if they lose game 4 and they don't come out with a lot of energy and they're just allowing corner 3 after corner 3, I'd be concerned. But
now, Purple brings up a good point about rest. And somebody else brought it up earlier. What do you think? Do you think a rest deal, or do you think it's?
You'd have to ask them, and maybe that's the reason Mark Dagnall said we're done early in this game.
As far as pulling guys out?
Yeah, I mean, if we don't get it under 20 in the first 5 minutes, we're not playing anyone.
You look back.
They did go every other night because after Game 7 in Denver, they had one night off.
What was it? What game was it in the postseason this year? Was it Golden State who pulled like Curry and Draymond like really early?
I don't recall.
I think it was the first series against the Rockets. It was Game 6, and they pulled him out and held him for Game 7 because of rest. I think that was the series I'm thinking of. But
I mean, it's a grind, man.
Yeah, it's bad performance.
NBA playoffs is a grind.
Yeah, bad performance. You got to flush it. You got to move on. Let's see what happens Monday night. That's all you can do at this point. Not a good show.
Who do you have Monday night, Jay?
It's too early for me to pick.
Early.
After watching this game, I think I might take T-Wolves and then pick Thunder in Game 5, and then I think Thunder get to 6. So I think the T-Wolves might win the next one, and then I think Thunder win the next 2. So I would say Thunder in 6.
Hey, one concern I had, and I've had, because you've heard me say it, Jay, when the Thunder have a big in, whether it's Chet or iHeart or both, even the announcer said tonight, and Gobert screens Dort illegally several times, iHeart is doing a poor job at showing. He's giving him too much space to shoot the 3. It's bad. When you have a small lineup, you can switch it all.
Yeah. Teresa says, when the Thunder won big, what did the other team do the next game? Remind me. I think they sometimes come back and play pretty well. So, yeah, I mean,
I did say this. And I don't think it's a legs thing. I think it's just mentally they're drained. after
I
that
don't think they're
7-game
great.
series.
And I think they
that could be part of it.
I think tonight, this is what I chalk up tonight as. I think tonight, coming off 2 double-digit wins, I think, hey, they got shell-shocked at the beginning. And by the time they looked up, it was you had spotted them a 20-something point lead, and then they kept shooting the ball well. Minnesota, you couldn't get back in the game. They were shooting the ball well. So kudos to Minnesota. I'm going to give it up to Minnesota, man. Their fans are ready. Their players are ready. They wanted the game. They played great. Give it up to them.
They answered.
They answered the call. So
I don't know why anyone would think they wouldn't answer, though. It's the NBA Western Conference Finals. They're going home. Like
it is. It is. You kind of expect it.
One of the hardest things to do is eliminate a team.
Well,
teams don't just give up.
I expected them to play really well. I did not expect the Thunder to turn over 9 times in the first quarter. That was bad. And maybe they did get complacent. They could have. I mean, very well could have. It's hard to know with the young team, but they might have. I mean, you think about it. This last week, a lot has happened for the Thunder. They go up 2-0 on Minnesota. You got SJ wins the MVP. Maybe. I don't know. It's hard for me to say. Sooner Cowboys got OKC in 5. We'll be all right. We'll be all right.
I wonder how early people left Paycom because they sold that event out tonight. They sold it out.
Yeah, there was a lot of people there. But
it was sold out.
Yeah. So.
Well, they got rolled, and I'm about to roll on into bed, man. This has been a long day. So appreciate everyone who's always asking about our dad. He's had tough 4 days, man, honestly. Just real tough 4 days. Lots of horrible thoughts, realizing that mom passed away, even though it was 7 years ago. He feels like it's today, like it's just hitting him. It's been very difficult trying to console and just deal with that. Appreciate you guys who ask all the time how he's doing. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Thunder back in action Monday night. We'll be here following the game, win or lose, win or get whipped. As it was tonight, but we'll always be here, rain or shine. So appreciate it. Hit the like before you leave, and we will catch you guys tomorrow on a regular Sooner Surge live show.